Hey, welcome to Board Game. Today, I'm Brett. One of my goals for 2026 is to actually build a brand new army. Now, I've got tons of armies for Warhammer 40,000, but there's one army I've wanted to do for quite a long time, and that is the Adeptus Arbites. And you have been able to do that using the Imperial Agents Codex that's come out. And I finally want to sit around and go and do that. It feels like it's going to be a fairly easy, fun army to do. I don't care about winning or losing and all that. I just want something to be kind of cool. So the basic concept that I've got was to have Adeptus Arbites for a small planet, and then have it led by someone local. I don't like the idea of having an Inquisitor or having having a priest do it or rogue trader or anything like that, but we'll use those rules, right? So just to make sure I kind of got my bases covered, we're going to at least have a Inquisitor just in case. So we're going to do this for an Inquisitor. Nice, generic, can have some fun with it, but, you know, that's going to at least have the Inquisitor part covered. But I want to do, my thought was to use the rogue trader entourage and have, you know, leader with that. So the entourage finally clicked with this group. I'm thinking the Palanite Justicars as an entourage would be a really cool HQ. Nice conversions, kind of fits some of the spots for the entourage right now. I like the style. Like, it doesn't look just like straight up like Palanite Enforcers or anything like that, but a little bit different and can be a cool entourage. So that was the idea to use for the entourage. Now the question would be is, who would be the leader? So my one idea was to use her as the leader, like have her leading up a force of Adeptus Arbites, right? I think that would be kind of a cool leader for an army. So that was one idea. The other would be is to maybe use some of the Astra Militarum regimental advisors. So that was another possibility as far as some of the leaders of the force. And then the other idea, going through all the piles, nope, that's not it, was to do this military attaché, have them being like royalty of the planet that's like overseeing stuff and then leading the Adeptus Arbites. So that was another idea. Like, one idea also was maybe have them lead and then use the character, the Palanite character, the Primus, as a character in the Force, like a separate character. So use both of these. That's another idea to do with that. As far as assassins or anything like that, I feel like these could be cool stand-ins for assassins, right? Like any of those type of characters potentially is really neat. And then we got, of course, the Stranger. It's got to be used somewhere. I just think it's such a cool figure. What I exactly want to use all these for, I'm not 100% sure, but I figured maybe assassins could be really cool. But the main force is going to be kind of broken down in a few ways. So we're going to use the Palanite Enforcer figures as kind of more like the elite parts of the army. So these ones are going to be armed a little bit better, maybe have a little bit better as far as equipment, stuff like that. They're not going to be, the idea wouldn't be is to have them as the Vigilant squad, but maybe the Subductor squads is to use that for a Subductor squad, use this as like a Subductor squad, so a little bit fancier. And this, for those who are really into the GW history, we're going to have some fun here. When I say I've been wanting to do this in 2nd edition, these are ones I painted up way back in the day for 2nd edition that I never finished. So I'm, of course, going to strip all this, but the idea would be is to use these as the Vigilant squad. Use these as like the majority of the force. Old school Adeptus Arbite metal figures from 2nd edition as just the bulk of the force. So, of course, got them. We got old school leaders to head up the squad. And then I even got some bolter figures that we can throw in there. We'll maybe convert a couple of them here and there. Let's see here. I know I've got some of the... Yeah, like I converted that one a while ago. Let's see here. And I got some of the old... Yeah, we got... Where's the grenade launcher? I just moved the grenade launcher somewhere. There we go. Of course, we got the old grenade launchers with that. We got some really cool figures. This is an old Confrontation figure. No idea how well this is going to come off on video. There we go. So this is an old school confrontation figure. This was also thought of maybe using this for something somewhere. I don't know what. Maybe priest. This could be kind of a cool figure to use as a priest. Used to be able to have Arbites on bikes, so that's why these exist. And then the one that I'm really kind of looking for as far as hardcore conversions are these. I have 2 squads of the old Arbites from Rogue Trader days with the Mauls, and to use the Vansar Energy Shield set as their shield. So do this as a squad of, I want to get the proper terms. So here, this would be the, I think the Exaction squad is get like 2 squads of this as the force. So basically strap shields on to them. Figure out a good way that would look. But I think that would be really cool. A little old school, a little new school. But you also, of course, you can sit there and be like, you don't have everything. You're missing out something. And nope, I'm not missing it out. And here we've got Necromunda. What version of this? This was the old Fanatics versions of the Arbites. So, of course, we got to throw these guys in there somewhere, because we can get the stubbers off of them. And some really cool stuff. So this is the old Fanatic ones. And, of course, we've got all the weapon choices here. So we got to throw them in there, because stubber dude. Got to get the stubber guy in there. So that was the general idea to get this force going and really build off, I think, like a nice mix of old and new, and I think potentially it could be really, really cool looking. But I want to hear from you all. I want to hear what you think about this, and if this is going to work, if this is not going to work. So sound off in the comments below. I really do want to hear what you have to say. I feel like I've got the... Yeah, we got the old Cyber Hound in here too. So we've got a old school Cyber Hound. Throw that in the mix. And then the other was, because I know we got to get the hounds, right? It's kind of a key thing. So one idea for the hounds was to use, we're not going to go Cyber Hounds, we'll do old Mordenheim Warhounds. Use these as the dogs for the Arbite force. And know you're all going to sit there and go, holy crap, he's got this still in package. Someday we're going to do a nice video of my collection, and your jaws are going to drop and say, holy crap. But this idea would be is to use this as the actual dogs for the force. I want to hear what you have to say. What do you think? Is this like a cool idea? Is this a horrible idea? Expansions to it is I got a squad of old school beret stormtroopers in metal. So that would be an expansion to it as far as adding a little maybe like Imperial Guard to the force. And then also old school, what was it, the Karaskin or Karaskin or whatever they're called, a squad of them, which I thought was really cool. I felt like it all goes with the theme that I'm kind of going with and the general look I'm going with. So sound off with your idea, or what you think of this idea. Like, how can I improve? What shouldn't I do? How should I arm them? All that. The other thing would be is transportation. So I definitely got at least one rhino sitting around somewhere. Probably 1 or 2 rhinos sitting around somewhere. I want to use the Venator somehow. I'm thinking this would be the rhino for the leadership, for the command squad. I don't know how big this is compared to a rhino, so I definitely need someone to sound off on that one. But I'm thinking, I love the look of this. I'm so pissed you can't use these in 40k. I think they would be such a cool addition to a Palanite Imperial Agents force. But the idea would be is to use this as like a stand-in for a rhino, as long as it's fairly similar in size, and then use a bunch of, what was it, chimeras or whatever it is, for the rest of the force to get them in there. Sound off. I want to hear what you have to say. Is this a realistic force or a realistic idea? Am I missing something? Is there something I should add that would be really cool? Sound off in the comments. This is going to be something we're going to go and build and have a bunch of videos, maybe just do some live videos where I'm putting this stuff together and building. So let me know. I want to hear what you have to say. Comments below, I appreciate it. And of course, if you want the latest game news, check us out every day at BoardGameToday.com. And of course, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Board Game Today, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep rolling that dice and get your game on. Hey, thanks for watching Board Game Today. We always appreciate your views and your support, but there are so many ways for you to support our site. Not only can you do it right here on video, but you can go and check us out at BoardGameToday.com, where we have more news, reviews, interviews, everything you could ever want. But since you're here, if you could, you can always give us a like, subscribe, or share our videos or watch something else. Is always much appreciated, and get your game on.